Hello, welcome. So my name's Emma. This is a video, one of a few for yoga for teens or early 20s, yoga for young people basically. So I imagine at the moment you are probably, some of you anyway, getting a bit fed up with being at home, being stuck at home with your family or whoever you live with. I mean, it's not necessarily that, you don't love your family, but I just remember when I was, say, 16 and I did not want to hang around an awful lot at home. And the weather's been so nice here as well. I bet you feel really frustrated. So as a response to that, and I hope you're not, by the way, if you're not, all good, but either way, these videos could be really helpful. So this is a good opportunity to learn a little bit about yoga and meditation, and I'm doing them in bite-sized chunks, okay? So this first section is just a little bit of an introduction to yoga and getting prepared, getting started, all right? So the first thing to say is that yoga is an ancient practice. It comes from India. And the word yoga means union, and what that means really is the coming together of the physical body, and when I say physical body, I mean the body, so the bones, the blood, the hair, the lungs, the heart, everything that makes up the body, and the spirit or the energetic part of us. Now, I don't want to go on too much, but just to make it clear what that means, because some people kind of think, I don't really believe anything I don't see. But if I say to you, do you think? You're going to say, well, yeah, I think. And I might say, well, what sort of thoughts do you have? And you might be able to answer me. You might be able to say, well, I think about, my friends, or I think about certain situations, or perhaps I'll say to you, do you have dreams? Do you have ambitions? And you might say to me, oh yeah, well, I want to do this when I'm older, or I want to do this in my job, and then I'll say, well, okay, so you've had thoughts, can you show me a thought? So if I was to, take you apart, so like say you break a bone, you go to hospital and they will put the bones back together, the bones will heal, and you'll see that, won't you? That's very clear. You see the bone and the other bone and they'll knit back together. Now, if I say to you, show me a thought, then you could give me some really clever answers about neuroscience and neurons, those are cells in the brain, and about how you're wired and how they transmit electrically to one another. But can you pull a thought out and have a look at it? So I might think to myself, I need to go shopping later, I need to buy some carrots. But there's nothing physical, you can't prove that, can you? We can't pull it out of our heads and have a look at, some words that say that. Yeah, I know that that's what I'm thinking. Okay, so that's one example of the energetic, okay? Another example might be, you're just sort of doing something at home, maybe you're doing some homework or something, and then you think, such and such, someone comes, into your mind, and it might not be someone you see all the time, and then, on your phone, it might pop up that they're trying to call you, or, that you've got a message from them. So it's like you knew before it happened, okay? Another example might be you go into a room that some people have been in, or perhaps they're still there, and you feel something. They're not doing anything particular, but you feel something. You feel like, it doesn't feel very nice in here. And then perhaps you chat to them and you find out, there's just been a huge argument. So it's that sort of stuff that we can't see and feel, but stuff that we know about. We have these little feelings, these gut feelings. So the energetic and the physical, okay, or spirit and matter. And so in yoga, what we are trying to do is merge and unite the physical experience with the spiritual experience and come into a kind of union of that. And so the yogis, and yoga is first and foremost a spiritual practice, but don't worry if you've got no interest in that, because it's just as good for, getting strong and fit and all of that. But just so you know, in the end, a practice of yoga, when you do it a lot, and that includes meditation and it includes breathing exercise and so on, when you do it a lot, what can happen is that you start to become more connected with your energetic stroke spiritual nature, and you start to become very peaceful, and you start to experience these amazing, lovely, blissful feelings. You know, you feel really naturally happy and content, and all those kind of feelings that you've had before of not being good enough, or, you know, such and such is the favourite, or I don't know, you know, family issues. They just start, it's not that they go away, but they just start to have less power over you. Okay? So that's a little bit about yoga. Now, I want to just, before we get started, I want to just explain what you might need to have with you. So, you see here I've got a mat. I've had this mat for 1,000 years. It's my favourite mat. Mats are useful because they stop you slipping. However, if you've got a wooden floor, then that's all right. Certain carpets might be all right. So you don't have to have a mat, but the more you do, you probably feel like it's quite a good idea. It's good to have a cushion on you. You might at some point want to get a block, but to start with, don't worry about any of those. A mat and a cushion is probably useful. You always get a blanket as well nearby, because sometimes when we relax, it's nice to have a blanket and make sure you're not too cold. What should you wear? Well, wear something comfortable. I've got, you know, leggings on here. I've got my love top. This is all about yoga, this one, because you can see it's got the peace sign in it. And love backwards means almost spells evolve. And yoga, if nothing else, is about evolving, making ourselves better, making ourselves wiser, happier. Okay? So the other thing that you might like to do to prepare for your first class whilst you're at home is you might, some of you, and this is just if you fancy it, you don't have to do this, is make a little kind of shrine or altar, okay? So why would you want to do this? It's nice just to have a place that's your place for your practice. So yoga is absolutely about study of the self, you know, what we're made of, how we're thinking, you know, what makes us think the way we do. And one of the things about yoga is that we try not to judge others, okay? So when you practice, this is just about you. You don't have to be good at it. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you don't get it absolutely right. It doesn't matter. It's about what you learn on the way. It's the journey rather than the destination. So anyway, coming back to a space, it's really important to have your own little space. So it might be in your bedroom, or it might be that your parents, you know, say, well, you can have this little corner over here. So you get your mat out, get your cushion. Try and make sure it's quiet as much as possible. And just try and cut off distractions as much as is possible. It's not always fully possible. And as I say, you might want to have this little shrine here or something like it, because what you could use shrine for is like positive messages. So when you look at it, you feel like, oh, that makes me feel good. So mine, the way I've done mine today, and I change mine quite a lot, is I've thought about, you know, the situation we're all in at the minute. We're in lockdown, we can't go out, and I've thought, okay, what can I do to, you know, promote a nice sort of feeling, a positive feeling around this situation, which is difficult. So I've chosen, I'm going to put a photo up of this because I know you can't see it properly. There's in the middle, there's a candle holder which is called Circle of Friends. So it's all these little people holding each other, because I think it's really important at the moment to be in community together, even if we can't physically be together, that we can still join each other, either by, you know, computer or phone or whatever. I've got lots of crystals here. They're all chosen intentionally. For the pink ones are for love, the clear ones are for clear thinking, the green ones are for health and healing, the yellow ones are to do with feeling good and positive, largely speaking. If you want to get crystals, you can get them online, and you can get little ones, they call tumble ones, a bit like, This one here, so you probably can't see it very well, but you can buy them for like £1 or £2 each, so they're not too expensive, and you could buy a few if you wanted. I've also got some little angels here as well, and that's just to spread this sort of love, compassion, kindness around, because a lot of people are very scared. And I've got some flowers. Other things you could add if you like cards, oracle cards, you could add them. You can put photos up, photos of, you know, people who you love, your pets, your parents, your friends, or you could write down people who really influence you, names of people who, you know, who inspire you. So that's quite nice too. Candles, maybe some oil, burn some oil, because that's nice to have some scents, some smells. So you get yourself a really nice little space, okay? So that's it for preparation, really. So that's your introduction. I'm going to see you on the mat in the next episode, okay? Get yourselves ready, and I'll see you in a bit. Namaste, which means I see the divine in you.